Welcome back to Newsmakers. Susan R. Rabinowitz is my next guest. No Evidence of Disease, a new book. Welcome.
Thank you.
So
nice
what does this mean, Susan? No evidence of disease.
Well, I was diagnosed with cancer for the second time in May of 2009.
Oh.
And after going to a local hospital, and they wanted to do some treatments that were too radical for my health at that time, we found alternate methods of treating the cancer, which was at Cancer Treatment Centers of America in Tulsa. After having being built up in my body, strengthening my body, which is what they did, I had a PET scan which showed 2 hot spots, as they call it, and which showed that there was still cancer in my body. And after having 4 weeks of chemotherapy, they waited a few more weeks and then did another PET scan, and there was no cancer, which was unexpected. They expected to find that at least it would just stay the way it was, that it wouldn't get any bigger. And so my doctor didn't know what to do with me. And after going back and forth to Tulsa from New York, where I live, he had another PET scan done in October. And again, once again, there was no cancer. And he said to his nurse, NED. NED, no evidence of disease, which is the name of my book.
Wow. No evidence. How great. This is pretty recent.
Yes.
That you went through this.
Yes, it is.
And you ended up with the best words you could ever hear from a doctor, no evidence of disease. But how did you feel? I want to take a step back for a second. How did you feel when you heard the words, you have cancer, and it was the second time? What went through your mind?
Yes. First time, second time, hearing a doctor say to you, you have cancer, is like having a knife stake through your heart. And you see death just flying by in your eyes. You just see it.
See death flying by before you.
Before my eyes, I see death. And what happens is you start having all these thoughts go through your head, and you start seeing your family live without you. And you begin to write letters in your mind to each one of your children. I have 5 children, and I thought, you know, they're going to live without me. That's initially what I thought. But the good news is cancer is not a death sentence. And I'm one to tell you that I'm healed.
And you're a big inspiration to many people who think, without a doubt, that it is a death sentence. But you're saying, no, it's not.
It's not.
And I guess there are 2 methods, or maybe a combination. You tell me, because I thought you said there were alternative methods you went for, but then you also mentioned chemotherapy.
Yes.
So what do people choose? What did you do?
Well, the fact of the matter is you have choices. Chemotherapy really does not kill cancer. It does help in certain kinds of cancer, but there's lots of cancers that are not helped by chemotherapy. Medical doctors are trained just to give you chemotherapy, radiation, or surgery. But there are alternative doctors as well who will treat you in other ways as well. They won't only give you chemotherapy. Some of them will prescribe chemotherapy for you, but maybe at a lower dose, which is what happened with me. And also there's vitamins and other supplements that you can take. And there are many, many doctors out there who have seen cures of cancer, but it doesn't go with the traditional medical doctors.
And of course I have to ask, in a moment like this, faith has to really enter in the picture. It may have been in the picture before or not, I don't know, but I can't imagine that there would be any time in your life that it would be any more in the picture. Did it play in? Yes,
faith. A little bit of faith goes a long way, and faith is something that I've had for a very long time. I believe in God, and you do so by faith because you don't see God, so that's how you believe to begin with. But faith is also believing in the Word of God, and the Word of God says, by the stripes of Jesus, you are healed. It doesn't say you're going to be healed someday, maybe. It says you are healed. And I had the opportunity to go to Rhema Bible Training Center, where they have a prayer and healing school. And any day, while I was in the Cancer Treatment Center, any day I didn't have a medical appointment, I went there, and hearing the Word of God over and over again, I said, I believe I am healed, no matter what the report showed. Even before I got the report of no evidence of disease, I believed I was healed.
So now the big question. So you had cancer twice. Do you think you can take whatever it is now that you've learned that you've been able to use to be able to beat cancer? How about keeping it away?
Yes, you can also prevent cancer from coming back. There are definitely things that we do to our own bodies that are not healthy. One of the biggest issues we have, which is an issue in the United States today, is obesity in children.
Yeah.
But it's in the entire country. And one of those ways is by excess sugar. Sugar helps cancer to grow. So by cutting out sugar, you've eliminated that one area. There are many other areas. Drinking water, the right kind of water, and what kinds of water you need to drink. Tap water has chlorine in it, and it has fluoride in it, and those are cancer-producing agents. So if you have a tendency in your body to possibly get cancer, maybe your DNA is made up such a way that that affects you, if cutting those things out will help you not to get cancer in the future.
Yeah. Do you have any resources that are available to people, possibly on your website?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I am the creator of Scriptures and Pictures, which is a art business in which I take Bible scriptures and I write them over and over again to create a picture, just an ordinary picture.
If you have a chance to click through and see these pictures, they're unbelievable. What's the website, by the way?
The website is noevidenceofdiseasebook.com.
Okay, so that's easy, yeah.
But
we can see the pictures there, too. They're unbelievable.
Yes,
I saw
you can.
Them. You also can look very closely and see all the little words, but you turn them into pictures. You have to check it out.
Yes, and if anybody goes on the website, please do, and enter in your contact information, and I will send you a greeting card with my Scriptures and Pictures in it.
By the way, with all this stuff going on, you have your business, you had cancer twice. Is it true that you homeschooled your kids?
I did.
You did? How did you have
20
time
years.
to do all this? How
You
many
make
kids?
time. 5 children. You make time. Children are the most important part of raising them is schooling them, and leaving it to just anybody to school is not necessarily the way to go. At least it wasn't for me. And my children are doing quite well. As a matter of fact, it took me 20 years from start to finish, from the first child to the last, to complete them all the way through high school.
Wow, it's some great information for us to think about and look at the website. And give us that website one last time.
noevidenceofdiseasebook.com.
Any last thought in terms of something you could help us to do to live a healthier life? Just last little nugget.
Yes, just to let you know that you have choices. You don't have to go a traditional route, although there are good ways to do that, but you do have choices. It's your body, and you need to take charge of it.
Susan R. Rabinowitz, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.